everybody. We're here with the second part in the Swiss phase, or the just Swiss bracket. It's CSM versus Max's Little Kittens. We're getting into this draft. I'm here. I'm here again.
Yeah, and
Milkshake Ian,
I'm
and I
swapped
got
in. I'm Zokama or Aiden, if you want to know me by online or IRL. And it looks like we already have the bands going in. We see Orn out. I think that might be a more tailored towards what their top plays, whereas Ezreal's been a very, very contentious pick so far in the current season. They just buffed everything out of him. You see him in so many solo queue games. Him and Karma are a disgusting bot lane, so you definitely don't want to let that through unless you're planning to grab it yourself. And it looks like they're saving something else for B1 for CSM.
yeah. Renata ban. I mean, Renata's good. I mean, I think this might be another target pick for Renata, but Draven as well into a brand.
Yeah, it does look like Max Little Kittens, if they're trying to draft a very kind of death volley comp, all three of those bands are really rough to play into when you're trying to stay all grouped and clumped together. Renata
Yeah.
can just turn your entire team against each other and just ruins a fight.
Yeah.
If you don't have an answer to that ult, whether like a wind wall of Samira or Yasuo, then she just is a monster. Same with Brand, if you're all grouped together, you just get melted. We see the Maokai B1. It's a very, very popular pick, has been meta all last split, and maybe fallen off a little bit, but he's still flexible. You can play him support, top, jungle, and he's just a very safe pick to throw in.
Yeah, definitely. We heard Jared Polis plays Maokai Jungle.
Yeah, no, he plays Anuvia mid and Maokai jungle, our governor of Colorado, and it's you'd love to hear that, but also probably flame him in my solo queue game if I got him.
Nice Udyr here. Don't know much about Udyr. They reworked him. He was cool. He seems strong. He can do a lot.
Udyr's very prevalent in coordinated team play right now. He's a very, very blindable top laner that can also flex jungle. So he doesn't show your comp too early, and you build full tank and he just burns your team. He just sits there and he does not die, and it's just really, really impressive to deal with. There's not many answers that just straight beat him up, so you're never bad picking him. But you just have to make sure that your other lanes have the damage to boot.
Are we gonna see Seraphine Sona?
These are already two very tanky teams. Karma with a tank and knock out the tank. Ooh, and there's the Jace, so they're already kind of locking in a more, keep them out front to back comp. They want the poke. Max Littlekins are going to definitely need ways to either get in on them or, match them on the poke. And Karma is good for that, but you're definitely going to need something else to help match Jace and Seraphine because that's still 1 to 2 in terms of the poke.
Let's see what Max Littlekins take here.
Man, Max has 5 kittens. Jealous. Must be a Valorant player.
Lucian Karma.
Lucian's been a very popular
Yeah.
character in meta right now, but I don't know if it works well for answering what CSM has. It could be a comfort. If they snowball by, it could be useful, but I think if the game goes too long, it's a little awkward.
Yeah, definitely rough. Surely it is just a comfort pick, unless we see like maybe it's Karma top lane and they lock in a Nami. That would be interesting.
Karma top's a good flex too, but then that does mean Udyr would be jungle, and that leaves a very, very safe top side, which means they want to play hard through the bot side. I would imagine at this point, though, it's probably... I want to say it's Udyr top, but we haven't seen if there's a concrete top or jungle pick yet, so...
TF ban. I feel like that's targeted.
AT is probably targeted. I don't know if that's one I would personally be concerned about. They have, all this grouping, all this power. TF's not going to be able to do much outside of force a split, which he's really good with the Lich Bane build he does. He just deletes turrets in the side lane and then just ults right out if you try to collapse.
Yeah.
So that could be what they're looking for.
They ban Nautilus and Zyra. Do they think it's Seraphine ADC?
I like the Zyra ban. Yeah, Seraphine's been a popular APC. Her support and mid have not been as good. So she's pretty common as an ADC itself. Also because ADC items are a joke and you build lethality.
That is true.
But oh, and there's the hacker. So it is an Udyr top.
Ooh.
It looks like they're looking to try to, just force these fights onto the back line. Hecarim's a really good way to get in the back line. Maokai can't stop him on the initial ult, but he can catch him right after. But that kind of forces them to go back and gives space for Lucian to walk up and Udyr. Ooh, but Lilia, I think, is disgusting right now. That character gets 2 items. She gets Riftmaker, Abyssal, and she just runs over a game. It'll definitely cut through the Udyr, so it is a good answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as she can kind of play poke with the Jason Seraphine and just fish for those sleeps when they try to go in.
Mm-hmm.
This is looking, honestly, I think CSM's draft's really good. And the Jinx, so
Jinx.
it's the Seraphine support. Ooh.
I mean, like you said, Seraphine support it's interesting.
I know, I mean, it's good. And I think for their comp, like, regardless of if Seraphine's good or not, for their comp, it's really good. And they're
Mm-hmm.
going to have to make sure that this bot lane is really far behind. And I think Max's little kittens are on a time limit this game of, ending up the game. They have to get the early objectives. They might want to put priority on the guppies because they know if they take turrets faster, they can get, if Udyr can, tank one or two of them and Lucian can run side lane, Vex can, play rotations to hack room, they might be able to just end out this game with a snowball. But I think CSM's draft's a lot more disgusting. That front to back is going to be very difficult for their team to play through. And if hack room falls behind, I don't think they have an answer for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I like CSM's comp. It is big. They have that Maokai. Jace seems really good, and Lilia. I mean, Lilia is just like you said, disgusting.
I perma ban that. I play top lane and I ban that jungler every game. I think it's just you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Oops. Started.
Huh?
Kick started. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me transition the game.
There we go. So yeah, I definitely think if I were approaching this from CSM sides, I think if they can group for an early drag, I think that's the thing to go for. If they can deny any guppies, but I also think they're okay to give up some early objectives as long as they're getting the farm, the resources they need. Because once you get 2 items on Jinx, 2 items on Lilia, 2 items on Jace, you're going to see them start to come online. They're going to start running over team fights, and they're just going to be really hard to deal with. Hello, hello. I think my mic's in the wrong spot. No, we're good. Okay. My head is too big for this microphone. Hello. Jimmy Neutron, Brain Blast. Yeah, it's definitely.
How do you
Sorry, go
think
ahead.
this early game is gonna play?
It's definitely all the agencies going to be probably in Max Little Kitten's favor. I don't know the mid matchup too well. I think Vex does get pushed on Jace a lot early, but I think it could go back and forth. So I think skill-wise, either mid could get pushed, and it's going to be based on their rotations. Lucian Karma should have early push in his bot lane, but they're going to struggle to get picks on Jinx and Seraphine if Jinx and Seraphine are respecting the level 2 push and all that. And Udyr's probably going to have perma shove on Maokai for early lane. That empowered R just melts waves and melts people, and it's just going to keep going in, and then that's how these early objectives play out. Is going to see if Max's Little Kitten has tempo. If they lose any of these, it might just be free for CSM. You're going to want things to get messy for Max Little Kittens to get through. If the game goes calm, if it goes, okay, then it's going to be really, really hard for Max Little Kittens to do anything. Hecarim likes that chaos. He likes the disorder. He likes the discord.
I mean, I don't know much about League, but I'm taking your word for it. I think I agree in the fact that Vex probably has better wave clear than Jace in a sense, and Udyr will just be able to push. I think that's what that character does. I'm excited. I like bot lane matchups. I play ADC. I like seeing early game fights. I like seeing how you can range. You got to play the range. The trading of summoner spells. Just seeing what they can find.
It's definitely, I play opposite that map top, and you always see this, like, it's very scrappy. Every CS you're going for, you're being fought for it. But bot lane, it can be very explosive. You're all farming max range, and in 1 second, someone goes up too far, and you're just all-inning. It's always an all-in. And top lane, you've got the scraps looking for all-ins, but also it's like you step up, I'm going to hit you and back off because I don't want to fight you yet, back and forth. But then you get the scary top laners that just run you down the whole time. And Udyr's kind of one of them. If he can get on you, he'll stay on you and just keep shoving you in.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen in the other game. They locked in a Trundle, and I was like, "Oh, this early game is going to Trundle." And then Kled came in with a solo kill.
Yeah, no, Kled's one of my top played. That Kled player is actually a new addition to that UCCS team because it's the
Oh
school
wow.
I attend, and I love him. He plays all my most played top laners. But Kled actually is just deceptively good in the early 1v1 because of the dismount. It's really hard to beat him up as most characters, and if he can pull off remount level 1-2, it's just really hard to do anything. And he just managed to pull it out, got dismounted, pulled out the blunderbuss shotgun, and just it took out Trundle, and then he kind of just kept that lead going and going. He even got ganked several times, and he would just get out barely, and it
Yeah,
was depressing.
definitely. It was a fun game to cast and watch. I'm looking forward. I wanna see Hecarim just like I don't know what he's gonna build. I think it'd be funny if he went full lethality just to kill like Jinx and Jace. I think that would be funny to see a horse running at you at 500 miles an hour.
There's two approaches. If he gets ahead, I think he definitely wants to go more one shot. He needs to be able to delete this backline so for them to win these fights. But if he, gets behind his building lethality, he's gonna have a really awkward time because he just gets
Hmm.
CC'd once by Maokai, and the team's just gonna be on him. He's just gonna blow up. So it's really gonna come down to, Hecarim loves snowballing. Snowballing is just his thing, and if they can keep that snowball going, they can do it. And they should have the agency to get some sort of lead in the early game. But if they do manage to just, if it goes neutral early game, I think it's just gonna be a really, really rough game for them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Lucian's early, Hecarim's early. I think Vex is pretty good most of the game.
Hmm.
Karma can scale as an enchanter, but again, the thing she's enchanting only goes so far. But the speed boost on Hecarim will be good synergy as well. If they get that lead, Hecarim and Karma will just start running over people. Lucian will be taking
True.
1v1s with anyone that's split by
Yeah.
themselves. And Udi is just going to be, you're going to send 5 people on him, and he's going to still be standing, walking away. That turtle stands healing him up. Hundreds of shields and just slowing everyone, so they're struggling to just stay on him.
Hmm. I want to see big Jace damage here. I want to see this Jace scale, get those lethality on him. I want to see Lucian disappear from a QE. I want to see that.
I've seen Jaces even super far behind. If they get that gold, that's all they care about. They need the gold for those items because once they get 2-3 items, they get their Eclipse, they get their Man Immune, they get their Pen. They just start to delete targets. Just no one. You don't want to be taking that beating. If fights go slow, then Jace is just loving it because if he gets 2 charged EQs out, then he can just go melee and delete anyone. And it's just really, really rough. And with all the wall that they have, with all the peel, all the disengage, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to do. But here we are into the game.
Yeah, dropping in here the the second part of the Swiss stage. I'm looking forward to it. Rearranging the characters because for some reason last time it wasn't.
People aren't going in LCS pick order, bad practice, but we can fix that in production, so there we go. We see TPs on both tops. We see the classic Ghost on Udyr, very popular pick because, all he does is run, so if he can run faster, it's very good. Same with Hecarim, 2 Ghosts on that team. Running them down is going to be pain. If you're too far up, Flash isn't going to save you as any kind of squishy
Ooh,
this game.
really damage on the Seraphine. I mean, with that support item, just a little bit of gold early. That's kind of nice.
The support item actually doesn't give gold this early anymore.
Oh no.
It's not till about halfway through the first wave that you can start getting gold with the item. So
Oh.
early poke is mostly just for damage and stacking. If you have any kind of mana flow band, it's really, really good.
Minions have spawned.
Ooh. I, there's an interesting fight here in mid already. A little bit of trading. That's fun to see. Starting off at a good tempo. Vex already starting off with that fear.
Yeah, we'll see both junglers opting for a top clear first. Maokai leashing, Udyr is not. And this is really good because both of them are going to be, by the time they're done with their first clear, back reset and get their top camps, Guppies will be spawning. So it looks like both might be looking to contest that as well as getting early ganks bot lane. Hecarim wants to get the bot lane ahead, whereas, Lilia might want to match this and just deny them from getting any lead for Lucian. As, blue side wants a, calm, safe game. CSM just wants things that can be explosive. And then red side wants things to, explode, get that lead, and snowball out the game.
The early damage I'm seeing is crazy. I didn't know Karma could take you down to half health at level 1.
Now we are seeing, top and bot lane are bullying in, and mid lane seems to be the only lane that has a bit more of a fight going on for the lane control. We see Lucian and Karma just trying to poke out these two as much as they can as they get the crash. Little ugly of a crash, but they do get a crash onto that turret. We'll see Vex also has 1 push here, so that is 3 lanes with Prio at the early game. This scuttle is going to be hard for Lilia to contest, and she might have to give it up.
That is rough. You don't like to see someone getting double scuttled. Wow, Vex is very oppressive. she's they're doing very well to just keep this Jace away as much as they can and get that damage on him early.
We see in the bot lane, low diveable. If Lilia weren't in the bot lane, Hecarim could definitely look for an angle just to dive and get a double. Even if he dies for this, they lose so much in the wave, and it just gets such a big lead for Lucian and Karma.
Oh, I
We'll
think I
have to
messed it
see.
up.
Lilia is getting first move on the bot lane, skipping her camp, while Hecarim is trying to get both his buff and Grom. Slightly slower than clear. Lilia's clear speed really showing how oppressive that character can be because she can clear so much faster than other junglers and just move around the map.
Ooh, Lily are coming in here trying to get bot lane. Not much found, showing presence. Hecarim meeting them in the river here. Cool.
Hecarim getting the edge. He did opt to farm more, so he has that level lead over Lilia as Lilia looked
Vex.
really gank. We get
Vex.
first blood off camera because the
Leak
leak
camera.
does not like to show.
No, it does
But she
not.
does get a quick poke dive on Jace, but he does have the TP to answer. So he's still able to collect some farm, but not a thing you like to see.
That is a little rough. I mean, Vex, we didn't get to see it, but already in that early game, she had the health bar advantage. The wave was pushed in. I feel like Jace probably in that situation misplayed more than Vex finding like something.
Ooh, we see Lucian looking for that dive, but can't get it off. Lilia's down here to help again.
Trying to find that bowling ball to connect, but Karma might get caught out here. Maybe no, using that shield to just run away with that speed boost.
And this will be punished by Hecarim. He is clearing the top side of Lilia's camps, getting a little bit more of a farm lead. He's going to be stronger than Lilia in these early fights because he's just getting way more farm while she's trying to keep her bot lane in this game, as she knows she needs them to survive. They need to survive so that they can, get to that scale. And it's unfortunate with the Jace also getting picked early. Vex having this level lead, just chunking him out.
Oh. Oh, Jace is found again. That's 2 kills early in favor of this Vex.
He may be stacking his tier pretty well, but he is down twice. He doesn't have the TP. He's going to lose some waves. He's just going to be behind this Vex. She's already hit 6 while he's still at 5. She's going to have the ability to make plays with this ultimate, and Hecarim is starting the first guppies. Some early prio, early objective to get them on the map.
I mean, I said I like fights in the early game, and seeing this Vex 2-0 this early is making me very happy.
We'll see Lilia answering the guppies with the dragon. This is a very common. Normally you see blue side getting the early guppies, but because of the nature of their comps, since the early game, they're going to want to get guppies on red side and drags on blue side, as if MLK can't get a early soul, it does give more time for CSM to last in the game and scale, as long as there isn't any large snowball with these guppies and the turret damage that they possess.
I know the Void Grubs are very, very good. I know you definitely, would you trade the Void Grubs for the Dragon?
It depends on what your team's looking for. I think as a scaling team, I prefer the dragons. It's kind of scary to give an early game team guppies because if they start snowballing, they start to delete turrets really fast, and the pressure in side lanes just becomes really oppressive for the split pushers. But with the dragons, when you stack 4 souls, that's also another way to end games early, because souls are just really, really strong unless you get Chemtech, in which case unlucky. But just in general, having that soul, it's like so much gold worth of stats, even after the drags have been nerfed, and you can just get bullied out. And then when the Elder comes up, that's basically a timer for the end of the game. Once the team is Elder, it's really, really hard to play the game.
Man, I'm looking at the Uji here. His damage is crazy. Using that fight in here, Hecarim ulting in here, finding it, landing on both of them. Vex are also going to land on the Jace here, going on top. Wow, clean double kill.
Ooh, yeah, they were looking for that double pick a mid lane, but then Hecarim came on the counter gank, and it just puts Jace even more behind. That is a 30 CS deficit and 4 kills to Vex. This Jace will not be allowed to leave tower, and he's very dangerously close to just being dove off cooldown.
Oh, Hecarim looking for a dive here. Jinx is low. He's going to be able to land on it, and the ADC, Lucian, gets a cleanup on that Jinx.
I do think one problem that I kind of glossed over, I guess, with CSM's comp is they don't really have any lane that is competent early. Everything's going to be pushed in. They're going to have to give things up this game. They don't have any like strong laner. Lily is a scaler, Jace is a scaler, Jinx is a scaler, Seraphine's a scaler. They don't have anyone to hold them into the early game. So they kind of just have to hope that this game can last long enough. But we're seeing just leads are already going over really heavily to MLK.
Yeah. Man, they invested. Maokai ulted for that Udyr, and he was just able to survive and run away.
You know, Udyr the unkillable. He just can turtle stance, walk out every single time. But Lilia does help try to get the crash. Udyr trying to hold the wave. Maokai staying just to make sure this gets under turret, so it pushes back. We'll see Karma trying to get vision deeper into the blue side jungle to get more aggressive plays going on and maybe deny this Lilia some farm.
Man, Vex is so far ahead. Already has that Malignance. Is Malignance that good on Vex that you would run it first item?
It's really nice because the way her ult works, you normally hit it and wait for your cooldowns to be off. She does get shut down though, the turret does take her down. That is a lot of gold back to Jace, which really that's the one thing Jace wants is gold. He doesn't care how many times he dies. If he gets the gold he wants, it's going to become a problem. So that's actually a really, really bad death for Vex in my opinion.
I mean, I saw what you mentioned there with Malignance using that R. I understand now with the fact that they can just jump on them fear and they're kind of forced to stay in there. Lucian using everyone investing their ults in
another
here.
dive in the bot lane.
Yeah, we saw Lucian and the Hecarim ult in here. They look like they're trying to find the Jinx. Jinx find R. The Ignite is going to be landing on her. There's not much they can do. That's a rough spot.
Trying to fight back in the top lane. But yeah, going back to Malignance as well, because when you hit with your R, the burn it gives, it's some extra damage, but also removes some armor pen as well as decreases the ult cooldown. That's 40 ability haste effectively on the ultimate. So you'll see a lot more ult cast as well as her whole burst after she hits R just does way more damage because of the way that the pen works.
As we saw there, we saw Lilia and Maokai, or Lilia came up and ganked Udyr. You said he unkillable, but he did perish. There's not much you can do there. Lilia came with him. Maokai finding the sun, finding the angle. Lilia just able to get all the damage she can off. Oh my. Vex canceling the Jace like leap. That was pretty cool. Looks like there's a fight here. Maokai's coming down, going on this Vex, able to CC and root them and push them away. Vex able to just barely escape that sleep coming down on them, but they're just able to go away. Udyr here just standing in his lane, able to take this wave away. He's not taking much damage for it anyway.
You know, even with, this poke from Seraphine, Udyr can just, push in waves. She can't do much about it, but she'll just clear it herself. And he'll look to go back top lane. We're seeing just a lot of gold in the mid jungle. It's going to be very, very scary playing the side lane because Vex and Hecarim can just show up and it's going to be really hard to contest any objectives for the next while. And we don't really see many items going up, but we do see Jace already with the man immune. That shutdown did give him a lot of gold that he got to use for funding.
Karma flashing in here, trying to get this root. Jinx is having to flash out of it. They use Ghost as well. That is pretty good if you're MLK. You want to get that Jinx.
Getting the carries sums down right before an objective fight's really good because now Jinx can't really step up as aggressively because if Vex or Hecarim look to go in on her, she has no tools to get away. She has traps that Hecarim can run over and Vex will still fly through and do as much burst as she can.
Yeah, I was surprised. Maybe it was a fat finger, maybe it was just like they thought they had to use it. I was surprised Jinx used both Flash and Ghost. Wow, Udyr. It's just big two tanks just slapping each other.
We'll see second drag going to MLK. The first one was taken by Lilia, so they're not too stacked on souls yet, so there's not too much pressure on the dragons yet.
Wow. Seraphine just disappears. The use from the Lucian R and Karma just standing up there trying to get the root so he can get all that damage off. Hecarim is down here. They might look to dive the Jinx again. There are backing away from Lilia's here though. Lucian is very low from that Jinx rocket.
Basically cut me off when the play happens, by the way.
What?
Don't cut me off when the play happens.
Okay. Oh, the R onto. Oh, there's just. he's just gone. Jace just disappeared. He has a Hecarim, he has a Vex ult on top of him. He just disappears.
Yeah, this is the one win con I was talking about for MLKs. They just have to get these early leads, and they are snowballing like crazy. As long as they don't, throw any more of these shutdowns over to some of their carries, then this game should honestly be in their hands. As long as they keep stacking these early objectives, getting dives on lanes that are isolated, and just taking all these turrets, they eventually put a timer in this game. They could end even off first Baron if they play it right.
Man.
We do see Rift Herald coming up in the next 40 seconds. It's likely that MLK will start playing with this, and they could use this at the next fight they take to do some serious damage to the base. A unchecked Rift Herald can take 3 turrets single-handedly, or even end the game if it's as disgusting of a fight. If all 5 die mid, they can just end game right there.
Lilia coming off top lane here. It looks like they're trying to find something. They can't really do much. They do force the Udyr Ghost. You can't. Oh, in the jungle now. They are gonna look to go on Lilia here. Hecarim investing everything he can. Udyr is just sprinting at this Lilia, trying to find something. They're able to get away. Wow, Jace. Oh, good flash away from the Karma. Damage, but the Vex is still there. Tries to jump in. He's not gonna find much. Surfing trying to save him with an ult, but it's not gonna work out as Lucian jumps over the wall here, using that R. A lot of damage on that Jinx. Vex is able to clean up that kill, and that is a 4-for-1.
And we're just seeing some really, really scrappy fights. These are fights that you don't want CSM to be taking. That's also right before the Rift Herald, so that's just free to the Hecarim. He doesn't need any help taking it because the entire bot side's down and Maokai's held under turret. Having the top lane experience, cannot play the game while, everything else in the map is going chaotic. Everyone in his team has died. He's sitting here with 1 assist, just probably looking for what he can do. But definitely see, because these fights are scrappy, they're not playing front to back for CSM. It's like 1v1s, skirmishes happening, 3 different people fighting, different people, and they just, each one pops, and then the one that won the skirmish rotates over, and it just gets worse and worse for them. You don't want them to be easily getting on your Jace, you don't want them getting on your Seraphine, but they're just getting access to this backline for free.
Yeah, Vex is hitting some very good R's onto these backline characters. Here, we got some people in mid here might be looking for something. Seems like they just want to push the wave out as much as they can.
MLK is not giving CSM any breathing room. Every ward they're even contesting them on, they're not giving them any map presence, any map pressure that they can have. They are not allowed to leave their turrets until they let them.
This is just, it's so oppressive. Like, CSM can't find much. This Udyr able to just use that ramp form, jump onto the Jinx. Lilia is here to support. They might try and look to kill here. Udyr trying to do much to escape. As that happens, the fight top lane and mid lane. Mid lane able to find this Jace, while Maokai is just absorbing so much damage. The Lucian ult invests as well, but it looks like he's still alive. On the other side here, Udyr in bot lane, he is going to be taken away. Maokai finds a kill onto the Karma. Oh, though, Hecarim is going to ult over the wall, killing that Maokai.
The fight on the Udyr is somewhat nice, though, for CSM. They kind of have control of the bot lane. They have a reset here, so they might be able to actually get grouped for this dragon, but it's still going to be very hard because you have Lucian in the top lane about to push into turret. Vex just 11-1. She's already got stopwatch and malignance. You can't blow her up. She will just stopwatch and her team will come in. And Hecarim as well. He's got Spear Shojin.
Well.
He gets that Q stacked up and he just does it. And yeah, 2 needlessly large rods with that back. That is an absurd amount of AP bot just in one buy. She's just going to keep blowing people up, and they don't really. The only person who can even tank that is Maokai, but he's not able to leave the side lane much this game. It's going to be the first time he's actually able to join his team on something.
Man, I like. There was just fights all over the map. There's that mid solo kill we see. The ult here coming in from the Vex, not going to find anybody. Is unfortunate. 4-man trying to go in on this Vex. They are going to get slapped and charmed and rooted from the Maokai. Although their team is here, like you said, that stopwatch able to let their team come in with them, trying to find the Maokai here who split off from the rest of their team. They're able to find it. Vex able to secure that kill. While Udyr is just running in here into their backline, trying to find a stun or anything. They're able to find the Jace, and their backline is so low. The Jinx, the Seraphine, and the Lilia are so low.
Yeah, you can see how scary this is, though. Even though they are down 12k gold. You know, their backline does do damage. They are doing damage, and if they get any kind of pick here, it could be ran over. Because with Excited on Jinx, she just does so much attack speed, so much damage, and if she starts chaining that, it can turn the game, especially if she gets these shutdowns. So it's very good on MLK for not losing any players in that fight. They did get several low, but they did not get picked, and they can collect this dragon as CSM tries to move back on the map.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we can't see the dragons and who's taking what. Maybe that's can we just hit like are we able to just hit tab just to see the whole scoreboard? I guess not.
But there are objective timers we can put up. Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, that's objective timers. That doesn't show. Because we have a custom score display, it does hide.
Oh, it does.
Oh, we can hide it right behind there,
oh,
so you
okay.
can see.
Yeah, you can see him just on
Yeah,
there.
so we have Mountain and Hextech Soul going to red side, and we have just the first Ocean Soul that Lily had picked up from earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we could see the dragons now. That was something I wanted to see in the last game.
Yeah, there is a. Ooh, that is a massive whopping gold lead. There is 40k on to MLK, and CSM only has 28k to answer. It is a significant, still 12k gold difference. Almost no objectives on the map outside of that first dragon and 3
Oh, and
Gummers.
Seraphine just disappears. Vex landing that ult on top of them. They just disappear. Vex in their backline now. Looking on this Jace and Lilia. Hecarim ulting over as well, trying to secure that Jace. They're gone. Lilia's gone. This could snowball into the end of the game here. Although Maokai is able to push the Vex under that tower. They're very low. Good stopwatch dodging the Jinx rocket. Although everyone else is rooted in their backline. Jinx is able to find the Vex and Karma. So she's excited. She is attacking pretty fast. Lucian trying to shut it down, but they cannot. As Jinx gets another, is this the penta for Jinx?
This is a lot of gold going to Jinx. This is the very scary part because of their comp. With this backline getting this damage, it's going to get a lot harder. Jinx just became a lot of priority. I think she just got like full 3k on the map. She got so many shutdowns. Their team is no longer 12k behind, but actually only 9k. So 3,000 gold went over to CSM over that fight.
Wow.
But it's really scrappy. And that might also be the Baron, which will give an additional 1,000, I think, 1.5k. I actually need to refresh on that. We'll see here in just a second, but that's going to be more gold over to this team, and they do scale. Their base is not cracked. There is no immediate threat to the game being ended. There is a TP behind. Baron is at 5,000 HP. We see Vex coming in.
Nice. Oh, landing a good ult here. Everyone is feared. CSM just almost wiped, looking for this Baron. They aren't able to secure it. MLK does not get the Baron, but I mean, they don't have anyone with the Baron buff. Everyone is gone.
Yeah, no, that is a team wipe. That gives them time to move the map, but there isn't much to take. The only way of really pushed in far enough to take something is top. We will see tier 2 falling, and we might see mid also fall. And that might be inhibitor as well. A fight might break out immediately. But we do see Jinx picked up her Runins, and she has a BF sword as well in damage. Jace is at 2 items. He will start to do damage. Lily has not finished her second item, and we do see Archangels coming out on Seraphine, so she's a lot harder to be doped by the Hecarim.
Yeah, I mean, good team fight there in favor of MLK. They're able to, they didn't get the Baron. Oh, Vex tried to take the Hex Gate. It's not going to work out. They do get slapped here, maybe trying to find something that Jace Q lands, and it's a lot of damage. Udyr running in here, CC immune, able to dodge that Maokai ult, while Hecarim is just in their backline, messing it up. They're looking for Maokai here. Their front line is gone now. They have no more front line. They're just trying to survive. Vex able to just do so much here. Lucian scaling out of control. I mean, that was a team fight. They could look to dive here. They definitely are. Trying to land on this Jinx. 2 people flashing in here, able to get the Jinx. Good charm though from Seraphine, able to shut down the Lucian, and they're able to survive. Although their turrets are gone. This seems like it might be the end of the game unless Seraphine can just wipe them. But it looks like Hecarim's on them. There's not much they can do.
Now that Eclipse Shield just makes him unkillable. Lily is back. She could get a wipe here. She does get Hecarim.
This is good. Udyr landing the stun on them. Their health just disappears. Jace is up now. He could look for a lot of damage. Flashes in here, able to find the Udyr, looking for the Vex. Vex able to kill the Jace, and tries to get away and does get away in the Hex Gate.
Definitely feels like CSM is playing under pressure, and now
Oh, and the
Nexus just
minions.
dies the minions. Maokai cannot clear it. That felt like they were trying to grasping at straws, trying to grab whatever gold they can. But 19 and 2 on Vex. What a domination in the mid lane that just snowballed out the rest of the game.
Man, that was.
If I were Vex, I'd be going back in this game and putting all this in my highlight reel. Very clean, very well played, very quick game. 22 minutes, 39 seconds.
Wow.
Any
That,
advice to anyone who's been watching? You definitely want to watch out and be careful with, if you're playing all scaling, you do need to realize that you just will not be able to contest much pressure. And when you have this much early game, Hecarim diving, Vex getting pushed in, solo killing on Jace, and just Lucian Karma as a general, it just is very oppressive. You have to give up so much, and you have to try to stall as long as you can, but you don't have the tools to keep you in the game because you didn't draft anything for the early game.
yeah, that was just. There were just some team wipes in favor of MLK there, and it was just. It was impressive to see. Just that Baron fight, especially. CSM got the Baron, didn't have anyone alive to get the buff.
Okay,
Okay.
we're actually back real quick. We have an interview with the Vex from last game. First, Keo, what's your actual name? Did you go by?
Max.
So Max, nice to meet you. That was a very impressive last game. You went 19-2-7 in tournament. That's a really good to do. We noticed that you did R5 Vex, so that was the final pick. What made you think that was such a good choice here?
Well, the enemy team, they had a lot of squishy champions, and they were also like more indexed towards poke, so we kind of just needed hard engage and to get on top of them, and so that's what Vex is good at.
Yeah, and have you played the Vex versus Jace matchup a lot?
Kind of, yes.
Did you know that it kind of went really hard in your favor? We saw very early on you were just taking some very aggressive trades and just immediately pushed Jace down under solo kill the beginning, and then I think it was a gank the second kill, and it was just at that point Jace was so far behind the game. You were 6, he was dead on level 5. A full level lead at that point.
Yeah. No, I definitely have a lot of, or some experience in this matchup, and I think the Jace also did a slightly greedy build. I think he started tier as well, and I think in this matchup as Jace, you have to kind of be a bit more conservative in the early levels and probably start like D-Shield or something so that you can at least farm up. But yeah, once he got behind, it was kind of over for him.
It definitely felt. At first, I thought CSM's draft was better, but as I watched the game, I did think that, at some point it did seem like they were all in on the scaling. They had nothing really to fight for in the early. Your top lane was pushing all game. You were just stomping all game, and your bot lane was also doing it. Hecarim was just kind of running around and just showing up at any lane, collecting kills and just making things happen. Was there any point in this game that you kind of felt, afraid in this match?
There was one time where 4 of us died, and there was perhaps like a tad bit of nerves after that, but no, for the most part, I think we were just chilling and having fun.
Yeah, no, it did look messy. Jinx did get a lot of gold. She's definitely the last character on their team that you want getting a bunch of gold there. She's getting resets. It was pretty scary. But with that Baron play, we saw the TP behind. What were you looking for at that moment?
Well, it was like a complete desperation play from all of them, and like they were very low. They didn't really have good damage on Baron, and like Vex really excels in those situations where there's just a bunch of low HP targets to reset on. And so yeah, like my goal was I kind of went into it thinking that I was gonna get a pentakill, but I think my support kind of stole the kill from me. But yeah,
Or saying you might need a new support next semester?
potentially, yeah, potentially.
That's how it is. I'd have to say, if there was last question for you, is if there's anything in this game you would have wanted to change, whether it was in draft or certain plays you guys made, what would it be?
I think overall this was just a pretty clean game. Yeah.
That was pretty good. It was one of the quicker games today. You ended that out in 22 minutes and 40 seconds. That was just the first Baron was what it took to end the game. So that was, I honestly impressed with the performance. Really good. Really just showing that you are such a dominant mid laner on this Vex and just taking over. Well, yeah, thanks for having you. Thanks for conducting the interview, and it was great to watch your game. Hope
Yeah.
you guys, make it to finals.
Yeah. Thank you.